Our school recently took a trip to the World Hunger Relief Farm in Waco. While we were there, we learned a lot about food insecurity, chemicals, industrial farming, global warming, and our soil. In this video, we are hoping to give you a better understanding of what our soil does, how we are damaging it, and how we can try to preserve our planet.
We recently watched a documentary called Kiss the Ground, in which they asked many adults what they were doing to stop climate change. The most popular answer was that they weren't using plastic straws. But as they said in the documentary, if that is the only thing that we are all doing, we don't stand a chance. Most people aren't aware that there are ways to reverse climate change and save our planet. If we put the carbon back into the soil, not only can we lessen the amount of carbon in the atmosphere, but we can also really improve our soil. Improving our soil would help farmers. There would be more food grown, so it would help hunger relief, and there would be healthier food grown. But right now, our soil is extremely damaged. One of the biggest reasons for our soil being damaged is erosion. Erosion is the process through which earthen materials are worn away and moved around by natural processes like wind and water. Most erosion is performed by water, wind, or ice. Erosion is a natural process, but human activity has made it worse. Things like construction, farming, and mining cause more erosion. If you see that wind is dusty, or that water or ice has mud in it, there is erosion taking place. The brown represents the bits of rock and soil that are being transported. Soil has layers. The top layers have the minerals and nutrients. They are also the place where plants and plant roots grow. But in the last 150 years, half of our topsoil has been lost through erosion.
One of the main causes of erosion is tilling. Tilling is a practice that many farmers do. This is a way for farmers to prepare the ground and soil for crops. Tilling has many negative attributes to our soil, such as breaking up the structure of the soil, reducing its organic matter, increasing the chance and effect of erosion, and destroying many helpful organisms. While having many negative attributes, tilling does have a few benefits, such as reducing crop residue. An example of reducing crop residue is softening the force of heavy rain, which helps avoid rain moving or not going on the crops. But even though there is that one small benefit, it is still not even a comparison to the many disadvantages. This is why we should stop sacrificing our soil and start doing what is better for our planet.
Soil can do so much more than we can imagine. Right now, we are facing the horror of climate change, but who knew that there is a solution to it right under our feet? Ever heard of carbon farming? Carbon farming not only helps with climate change, but the quality of our soils will become rich and healthy. Carbon farming is where you mist on layers of compost and let grass grow wherever it can. The more compost on your soil, the more carbon your soil will store. According to e360.yale.edu, right now soil stores more carbon than plants and the atmosphere combined. It stores about 2,500 billion tons of carbon, while the atmosphere stores 800 billion tons and plants store about 560 billion tons. Here's a story that kind of explains how carbon farming can be a really big part of our lives and how it can change our lives forever. There is a man named John Wick who moved to a ranch in Northern California from San Francisco in 1998. John used to have cows on his ranch, but soon got rid of them. But after the cows were gone, the ground dried out and there were a lot of weeds. So John brought in men to pull all the weeds in his ranch. But it only got worse. Then a rangeland ecologist told him that he needed to bring the cows back to get rid of the weeds. The only way this would work was if the cows were moved constantly from one spot in the land to another. So John brought in 250 cows, and it worked. By the next summer, the land was great. The grass had created deep roots, and there was a lot of water in the soil. The ecologist thought that there must be more to what the soil is doing. So John brought in scientists to test the soil in his ranch and in the neighboring ranches. The results show that wherever there was cow manure sprayed on the grass, the soil stored more carbon dioxide. But there was a problem with that. Too much manure produces greenhouse gases that are harmful to the planet. So John went out to find something that was as effective and good for the soil, but it also wouldn't harm the planet. They found that compost would be as effective and could also help the planet. The more compost he used, the more carbon would be stored in the soil. Then he took this idea to bigger ranches, and then finally in 2008 he co-founded the Marin Carbon Project so that he could spread this idea.
At the farm trip, we learned the importance of soil health and how it affects everything around us. The World Hunger Relief Farm had no-tilled soil where the plants were thriving and the soil looked great. We learned about the impact soil can have on us and our world.
Charles Kellogg once said, "Essentially all life depends upon soil. If we take just some simple steps, we will be able to save ourselves and our planet together."